Good evening. Welcome into City Park Field. I am Justin Herbert, and we are live for today's matchup between the Dodge City A's and Fort Collins Foxes. It is game 2 of this series. The A's took game 1 yesterday in convincing fashion, winning that one 9-1. The A's are looking to continue that here tonight as we take on the Fort Collins Foxes again. The A's on a 7-game winning streak right now come into tonight, 7-6 overall. The Fort Collins Foxes enter tonight's matchup 3-7 overall. We're going to step aside for just a moment as it is time for the national anthem. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back into City Park Field. Again, I am Justin Herbert, and it is game 2. The A's facing the Foxes on the road. Game 3 of this 6-day road trip for the Dodge City A's. And let's go ahead and get started and meet our starting lineups. First for the Fort Collins Foxes. Batting first, shortstop, number 3, Henry Fleckner. Batting second baseman, number 6, Tyler Mata Lloyd. Batting third, center fielder, number 38, Tyler Attal. Batting fourth, third baseman, number 23, Henry Jamison. Batting fifth, first baseman, number 5, Connor Jeffers. Batting sixth, right fielder, number 27, Brendan Jordan. Batting seventh, left fielder, number 2, Dylan Hepfner. Batting eighth, designated hitter, number 46, Matthew Goff. And batting ninth, catcher, number 9, Landon Irvin. That's Fleckner, Mata Lloyd, Attal, Jamison, Jeffers, Jordan, Hepfer, Goff, and Irvin for the Fort Collins Foxes. And so let's now go ahead and meet our starting lineup for your Dodge City A's. Leading off, it is Kyle Morrell in right field. Batting second, center fielder, number 3, Matthew Sandoval. Batting third is the first baseman, number 24, Ryan Davis. Batting fourth, third baseman, number 9, Brendan O'Sullivan. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 8, Jacob Klanowski. Batting sixth, left fielder, number 27, Angelo Zazzarino. Batting seventh, catcher, number 18, Alex Cummings. Batting eighth, second baseman, number 2, Andrew Ramirez. And rounding out the lineup for the Dodge City A's is shortstop, number 23, Brock Dembo. Blake Mayfield getting the start on the mound for the A's. And it will be Matt Oberlander starting on the mound for the Fort Collins Foxes. So we are just a few moments away from first pitch. So the A's and the Fort Collins Foxes getting ready for tonight's matchup. So as Matt Oberlander on the mound getting his warm-up pitches in for the Fort Collins Foxes. And it was a game last night that started off both teams scoring in the first inning, and then it was the A's that broke the game open later on in the fifth inning, scoring 4, and that was the scoring difference for the A's as they would go on to take that game 9-1 last night. So the A's riding their 7-game winning streak right now and looking to continue that success here tonight. So it's Kyle Morelli leading off for the Dodge City A's, and he finds himself in the count right now, 1-2. The A's leadoff hitter, he'll take that one. It's hit down to first base with a foul. And we'll redo the 1-2 over again. Kyle Morelli, the leadoff hitter for the Dodge City A's. Counts 2-2. Kyle Morelli will go down on strikes, and that brings up Matthew Sandoval. Sandoval takes first pitch he sees, sends it out to right center field, and that will drop in for a base hit. So the A's in business with a runner on and one away right now, and that brings up Ryan Davis. Davis steps in, a little bit of a rough game for him last night. He will look at the first pitch for ball number 1. So 2-0 the count to Ryan Davis. And that one is in for strike number 1. 3-1 the count to Davis. A's batting in the top of the first inning. And that one's in for a strike on the outer edge. Full count now to Davis. He'll foul that one off, and we'll redo the payoff pitch over again. Davis will take the first pitch he sees. He sends it out to center field, and that is Tyler Tull there waiting for it. Out number 2 for the Dodge City A's. So that brings up Brendan O'Sullivan. Sullivan in the count 1-0. Runner on first for the A's. So 1-1 now to Brendan O'Sullivan. And one to O'Sullivan. He'll take that one, fouls it off. Now 2-2. So Brendan O'Sullivan, runner at first. Pitcher O'Brien looks over, checks on Sandoval. Throw in, and that one's hit out into left field, and we'll drop in for a base hit. So now runners at first and second for the A's, and that will bring up Jacob Klimowski to the plate.
Designated hitter number 8, Jacob Klimowski.
Jacob Klimowski steps in, and he will face Matt Oberlander. Oberlander throws in, misses on the outside edge for ball number 1. One and one now to Klimowski. Runners on first and second for the A's. The A's trying to make something happen. Try to take an early lead in this game. Strike number 2 to Klimowski. 2-2 now. 2 away for the A's. Runners at first and second. Klonowski sends that one out into right center field, and it will drop in for a hit. Sandoval's digging for home. Throw into second, and that will be a triple. Throw home now. Not in time, and that will score Brendan O'Sullivan, so the A's will take a 2-run lead.
Left fielder number 27, Angelo Zazarino.
So that brings up Angelo Zazarino to the plate. Zazarino will step in to face Oberlander with runner on second, and Jacob Klonowski got himself an RBI double. Zazarino takes that one, pops it up high. Third baseman calling for it. Hauled in by the left fielder, and that will be out. Actually, that was a shortstop. Hauled in by Fleckner, and that is out number 3 for the A's. You've been listening to A's Baseball. Welcome into City Park Field. It is the bottom of the first inning, and Blake Mayfield on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Leadoff walk to get Henry Fleckner on, and it is Tyler Motter-Lloyd on the at bat. So Fleckner now at second. 3-0 the count to Motter-Lloyd, and A's looking for an out. Try to get out of this inning with as little damage done as possible. A's scored 2 in the top of the first to take the 2-0 lead. That in for a 4-pitch walk, and
Third baseman number 38, Tyler Uttal.
that'll bring up Tyler Uttal. So the A's on a 7-game winning streak coming in tonight, and that wild pitch gets away, and now runners at second and third for the Foxes. That'll bring out a mound visit from Coach Chris Woodruff. William Roberts, starting pitcher for the A's last night, won a complete game for the A's. Pitched all 9 innings and threw, I believe it was 108 pitches in that game. So the A's trying to get something going here. Find ways to get outs here in the bottom of the first. A's leading this one 2-0. That ball's hit out into right field. It will be a sacrifice fly, hard in. And that will score 1, but out number 1 for the Foxes.
Third baseman number 23, Henry Jamison.
So that will bring up Henry Jamison to the plate. Jamison played in last night's game. Most of this lineup did is the Foxes only have 20 players on their roster. That one's hit foul. Runner on third for the Foxes, 1 away. Swing and a miss, and that would be strike number 2 to Henry Jamison. Blake Mayfield starting to calm down a little bit. He'll come set. That one's down low. Ball 1. 1-2 the count to Jamison. Slider misses outside, evens the count at 2 apiece. The A's trying to get out of this one right now. That one comes all the way across. A good job by Alex Cummings to get out of this crouching. Stop that one. 3-2. Payoff pitch coming from Mayfield. That one's outside, and that would be another walk. So that brings up Connor Jeffers to the plate. Jeffers steps in and takes the first pitch he sees and sends it foul and out of play for strike number 1. A's leading 2-1. Foxes with runners on the corners, and Connor Jeffers batting in the 5-hole for the Foxes. Mayfield delivers outside, and that's ball number 1. That one's inside, will be hauled in by Kyle Merrill hauls it in, and a throw into first will double off Henry Jamison, and that will end the inning for the Foxes. So yeah, we're headed to the top of the second. It'll be Alex Cummings, Andrew Ramirez, and Brock Denbo due up when we return. You've been listening to A's Baseball. Welcome into City Park Field, and A's with quickly one out as Alex Cummings sends a fly ball out to right field and hauled in by Brendan Jordan for out number 1. So that brings in Andrew Ramirez to the plate. Ramirez looks at the first pitch he sees for strike 1. There's Matt Oberlander back out for his second inning of work for the Fort Collins Foxes, and Ramirez will foul that one off and out of play for strike number 2. The pregame ceremony on the Father's Day weekend. They had all the fathers in attendance throw out first pitch to their players, and Ramirez will send that one down the third base line, but rolling foul, and they'll do the 0-2 over again. So the A's playing their third game of this 6-day road trip. will return back to the Denver area tomorrow night to play the second game with the Game Day Angels. Andrew Ramirez will send that one out to second base and throw to first in time. And out number 2 for the A's. And Brock Denbo takes first pitch he sees and sends it out into right center field. Denbo digging for second. And he will begin with a stand-up double. And evidently they are going to negate that hit. They're going to say that a ball was too close to the playing field and that will negate the hit. So Brock Denbo will step back in for his second attempt at hitting a double, and he'll send that one on the ground over to short. Throw over to first in time, and that will be an out. So the A's get hosed on a call by the Blues, and they're going to have to battle now and try to get that back. We're headed to the bottom of the second. You have been listening to A's Baseball. Bottom of the second, and a 1-1 count to Brendan Jordan leading off for the Fort Collins Foxes, and now swing and a miss makes it 1-2. That one's hit on the ground, backhanded by Denbo, throw over to first in time, and out number 1 for the Foxes.
Now batting left fielder number 2, Dylan Hupford.
So the A's trying to get back to bat after being on the wrong side of a call by the umpiring crew that should have been a double for Brock Denbo and turned into a ground out. So now 1-0 to Dylan Hupfer. Now 2-0 on a called ball over the plate. That one's hit foul and out of play for strike number 1. So that one outside. 3-1 to Hupfer. One away for the Foxes here in the bottom of the second. A's leading this game 2-1. Fastball catches bottom edge of the zone, and that'll be a full count. So payoff pitch coming from Blake Mayfield. Mayfield delivers outside and low for a walk.
Now batting DH number 46, Matthew Goff.
The A's pitching staff coming into tonight's contest had combined to issue 82 walks, but strike out 109 and combined for 19 hit batters. So the walks a struggle for Mayfield so far. Deliver strike number 1 to Matthew Goff. That one slider outside, and Cummings popped up, acted like he was going to throw it on to first, but chases Hupfer back to first anyway. 1-1 the count to Goff. Mayfield delivers an outside for ball number 2. Three and 1 now to Matthew Goff. Full count now. Mayfield comes into tonight's contest, making 2 game appearances, pitched 5.2 innings. Both of those starts, 4 hits, 7 runs. Walked 11, struck out 11, and hit 1. And
Landon Irvin.
Goff goes down swinging, and that will bring up the catcher, Landon Irvin. Irvin struggled at the plate last night for the Foxes. So it's 2 on. 1 away for the Foxes, or 2 away for the Foxes now, and runner on second. That ball gets away from catcher Alex Cummings, and that will be a passed ball. So 1-0 to Landon Irvin. Mayfield delivers outside for ball number 2. Blake Mayfield collectively with an 11.118 ERA coming into tonight's contest. That one outside and 3-0 now to Landon Irvin. A 4-pitch walk to Landon Irvin, and that is the 5th Foxes batter to reach via base on balls, and they'll send Turner Jamison to the base paths to be the courtesy runner for the Foxes. So now runners at first and second, 2 away, and back at the top of the order for the Foxes with Henry Fleckner. Fleckner, one of the Foxes that walked on in his first time up. That one's delivered outside and ball number 1. Catches the outer edge of the zone, now strike 1, and Mayfield will come set. Throws in, that one's hit on the ground too short. Just past the arms, and that was score 1, and the Foxes have tied this one up at 2 apiece.
Second baseman number 6, Tyler Pomeroy.
So runners at first and second now for the Foxes, and that brings up Tyler Lloyd. Lloyd, another one of those walks in the first inning. So the Foxes with their first hit of the ball game, and Lloyd will send the first pitch he sees out to right field, hauled in by Sandoval, or rather Kyle Morrell, sorry. So Morrell out there to haul that one in, and that will end the inning for the Foxes. We're headed to the top of the third. You have been listening to A's Baseball. Leading off the top of the third, it is back at the top of the order with Kyle Morrell, and Morrell will foul off the first pitch he sees for strike number 1. That one's Delivered down low, but catches his own for strike two, and Morrell down in the count 0-2. That one's hit on the ground, fielded by first baseman Connor Jeffers, and out number one for the A's.
Center fielder number 3, Matthew Sandoval.
So that will bring up Matthew Sandoval. Sandoval singled his first time up. He'll look at the first pitch he sees high and inside for ball number one. That one's low and outside for ball number two. Matthew Sandoval fouls that one off, and now 2-1 the count. Sandoval hitting .308 on the season so far. Struck out 7 times, walked on 8. Accounts for 9 runs. Driven in 2. Has an extra base hit as a triple. So a full count now to Sandoval. Payoff pitch coming from Matt Oberlander. Oberlander on the mound for now his 3rd inning of work. That one's just off for a walk, and that will bring up Ryan Davis to the plate. Davis flew out to center field his last time up, and we'll see if Davis can break out of the slump that he got started in yesterday. Takes the first pitch he sees and fouls it straight back for strike number 1. Big swing and a miss, and down in the count 0-2, one away for the A's. Matthew Sandoval down at first. Tie ball game, 2 apiece. Davis will send that one over to second, throw over to short, over to first, and in time, and a 4-6-3 double play ends the inning for the A's, and we're headed to the bottom of the 3rd. You've been listening to A's Baseball.
fielder number 38, Tyler Utall.
Welcome back into City Park Field. It's game 2 of the Foxes and A's. It is a tie ball game as we're headed to the bottom of the third. So Blake Mayfield back on the mound for his now third inning of work. Last pitched against the Colorado Springs Outlaws back on Saturday, June 11th. That was a 3.1 inning outing for Mayfield. He got the win. Or no, he did not, sorry. 1 hit, 4 runs, walked 9, and struck out 7 in that outing. And it is a 2-0 count to Tyler Attar for the Fort Collins Foxes. Catches the bottom edge of the zone, now 2-1. That ball down low, now 3-1 for Tyler Attar, the leadoff hitter for the Fort Collins Foxes. Hit a sac fly his first time up. He'll foul that one off and bring the count full. Payoff pitch from Blake Mayfield. Mayfield comes, sets, and delivers. Payoff pitch is fouled off and out of play to repeat the payoff pitch. So Mayfield got his sign and comes set again. That one in low for a walk. So now the 6th free pass issued by Mayfield in this game. The Fort Collins Foxes only have 1 hit so far. A's 2 runs with 3 hits. They've stranded 1. The Foxes have stranded 3 so far. That is driven out into left center field, and that will put runners at first and second for the Foxes.
Number 5, Connor Jeffers.
And that brings up Connor Jeffers. Jeffers flew out his first time up. No outs here in the bottom of the third. Tie ball game, and Fort Collins Foxes are looking to try to take a lead for the first time in this series. That one's fouled off and out of play. Strike number 1. Thrown inside, catches the inner part of the zone for strike number 2. Nice pitch, but just misses for ball number 1. Mayfield will throw back to second, try to pick off Tyler Attal, and back in safely. 1-2 the count to Connor Jeffers, who flew out his last attempt. So a throwing error allowed Tyler Attal to come home and score, and there are now runners at second and third, or first and second for the Foxes with no one out. The Foxes now leading this game 3-2. And that brings up Brendan Jordan. Jordan grounded out his first time at bat. That one's up high for ball number 1. One's hit foul down the third base line and evens the count at 1 apiece to Brendan Jordan. Runners on first and second, nobody out, bottom of the third. One's delivered in but low, now 2-1. And throw down to second will be the first out of the ball game. Is so the public address had a little humor as the Foxes runner was erased off the base pass with the throw.
Left fielder number 2, Dylan Hupford.
So that now runners at first and second, one away for the Foxes, and that brings up Dylan Hupfer. Hupfer walked on his last time up and takes first pitch strike. So the Foxes have a mascot that walks around through the stands and leads the hometown crowd in chants as well. That pitch driven foul and strike number 2 to Dylan Hupfer. That pitch delivered down low and will move the runners to second and third, and now 1-2 to count to Dylan Hupfer. Another wild pitch. And that will score one, and that extends the Foxes' lead in this game 4-2. Hupfer will take that pitch, drives it out into center field, and the Foxes now lead 5-2. Action beginning down in the bullpen, and that is Tyler Cotto beginning his work, getting warmed up for the Dodge City A's, and a mound visit from Coach Chris Woodruff. So that mound visit will break up, and so it is now Matthew Goff at the plate for the Foxes, and that pitch delivered low for ball number one. That one's hit right back at pitcher Mayfield, bounces off his foot. He has no idea where it's at. Andrew Ramirez going over and taking it up, and now runners at first and second. So that will bring up Landon Irvin. Irvin walked on his last time up, and Fort Collins Foxes leading this game 5-2, bottom of the third, and one away. That one in for a strike. That one misses just inside of the zone for ball one. One away for the Foxes. Runners at first and second. Good job. Alex Cummings getting shifted over to stop that one. 2-1 now to Irvin. Mayfield delivers. That one's hit down right field line, but drops foul for strike number two. Two and two to count. Runners on first and second. One away. Mayfield delivers. That one's a ball thrown out. Trying to pick off the runner at second, and even though it's overthrown, no advancement. So full count now to Landon Irvin. Irvin will swing and miss, and out number 2 for the Foxes.
Number 3, Henry Fleckner.
So that brings up Henry Fleckner and back at the top of the order. So the Foxes starting to make their third trip now through the batting order, and Fleckner 1 for 1, a walk and a single in this game, and the A's are trying to get the final out of the inning and get back to bat and try to cut into this Fort Collins lead. That one's driven on the ground out to short, throw over to first in time, and Brock Dimbo showing off his athleticism with that throw, and out number 3. So it will be O'Sullivan, Klonowski, and Zazarino due up for the A's when we return in the top of the 4th. You've been listening to A's Baseball. Welcome back into City Park Field. I am Justin Hergert. We're ahead to the top of the 4th, and Brendan O'Sullivan leading off for the A's as the A's are making their second trip around the batting order. O'Sullivan is single his first time out. A much different game compared to what last night was. That one fired in for strike number 1. So Oberlander out for his 4th inning of work. That one in for a strike as well. So 0-2 O'Sullivan. He's going to step out, adjust his batting gloves, and dig in. The A's needing base runners to try to get back into this game right now. Oberlander delivers. That one's fouled off and out of play. It was the top half of the batting order for the A's last night. All of them getting multiple hits in that game. That one inside, and O'Sullivan displeased with that call, but out number 1 for the A's. So that will bring up Jacob Klonowski to the plate. Klonowski had doubled his first time up. The A's trying to get something going, and that pitch is outside for ball number 1. So Oberlander just 50 pitches so far in this game. 36 of them have been for strikes. Klonowski sends that one on a rope. It is tattooed, and Brendan Jordan with an outstretched arm, barely has it in, but out number 2 for the A's. So that will bring up Angelo Zazzarino. Angelo flew out his first time up. And a curveball up high makes it 2-0 to Zazzarino. A lot of ball game left here, but momentum definitely in favor of the Foxes right now. Zazzarino fouls that one off and out of play. Evens the count at 2 apiece. That one's hit down foul into the batter's box, and catcher Irvin's going to walk the ball out to his pitcher. Take a moment to walk off the sting of that one. Verlander delivers. That one up, popped up. And it will be hauled in by Jeffers out in foul territory, and that will end the inning for the A's. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th. You've been listening to A's Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The A's go to the bullpen. It is Tyler Carter on the mound now for the A's. So the night is done for Blake Mayfield. Mayfield goes 3 innings, faces 19 batters, throws 78 pitches, allows 5 runs, and Battle Lloyd will take the first pitch he sees and drives down to left field for a leadoff hit. So Mayfield,
38, Tyler Uttall.
5 runs, struck out 2, 4 hits, walked 8. Had 4 wild pitches, so that is the final stat line for Blake Mayfield. And now Cotto on the mound. Now Tyler Uttall, and Uttall walked on his last time up, and check swing for strike number 1. Strike number 2 delivered on the inside edge, and Lloyd is down at second. So that will bring up a pitching visit from head coach Chris Woodruff. They're looking at possibly a hole or something on the mound. Where the landing foot would go, possibly. So Tyler Cotto, 0-2. To Tyler Uttall, catches the inside edge, and that will be out number 1 for the Foxes. So that will bring up the third baseman, Henry Jamison. So Cotto been effective attacking the inside edge of the plate. Will step off and attempt the throw to second. So he will face Henry Jamison. Jamison singled his last time up. Big swing and a miss for strike number 1. Strike number 2 now to Henry Jamison, and Tyler Cotto, a breath of fresh air for the A's and some much-needed encouragement. Cotto fires and delivers. That one's popped up. Catcher Alex Cummings fields just in front of home plate, and that is out number 2 for the Foxes.
Number 5, Connor Jeffers.
So runner at second. Tyler Madureira hit that leadoff single. Now 2 away for the Foxes, and the A's are trying to get back, start swinging the bats and try to get something going to cut into this lead. That one delivered down low, and ball number 1. Connor Jeffers at the plate. Jeffers walked on his last time up. One of the 8 walks allowed by starting pitcher Blake Mayfield. That one's down in the dirt and bounces, and Lloyd rounds third, but he will retreat back, and so a wild pitch advances Lloyd to third. So 2-0 now to Connor Jeffers. Tyler Cotto kicks and delivers and catches the outer edge of his own for strike number 1. 2-1 now to Jeffers. And that one's hit out too short, fielded by Brock Denbo. Throw over to Ryan Davis in time, and that will end the inning for the Foxes. We're headed to the top of the 5th. Alex Cummings, Andrew Ramirez, and Brock Denbo due up in the bottom of the order for the A's. When we return, you've been listening to A's Baseball. Alex Cummings steps in, sends the first pitch he sees high into the air, and fielded by first baseman Connor Jeffers for out number 1. So that will bring in Andrew Ramirez. Ramirez grounded out his first time up. First pitch delivered inside for ball 1. Verlander delivers. That one's outside for ball 2. Verlander on the outside again, and 3-0 to Andrew Ramirez. And a 4-pitch walk. We'll put Ramirez down at first. 1 away for the A's, and that brings up Brock Denbo. So after going 1, 2, 3 in the second, third, and fourth innings, the A's now with a runner on, and Denbo takes that one, sends it out to short, throw over to second. So that will be a fielder's choice, and not able to make the throw over to first, and 2 away for the A's.
Right fielder, number 22, Kyle Morrell.
So that brings in Kyle Morrell back at the top of the order for the A's, and Morrell takes first pitch he sees and sends it fouling out of play to our left for strike number 1. Morrell grounded out his last time up. The A's are looking to do something to try to cut into this lead, and that's not it, as Well ground out. 3-U by the first baseman.
Stands this evening.
And we are headed to the bottom of the fifth.
Shirts courtesy of Dakota Apparel. The official
You have been listening to A's Baseball.
boxes.
Bottom of the fifth. A's trailing in this game. 5-2. And it is now Christian Mercado on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Tyler Mercado goes 1 inning, and that was designed. It was planned that Cotto was only going to go 1, giving him some pitching experience. Mercado will face Brendan Jordan. Jordan walked on his last time up and sends first pitch he sees foul for strike number 1. Mercado delivers well and evens the count at 1 apiece. That one's inside. 2-1. Down low now, 3-1 to Brendan Jordan. The A's looking for some way to try to claw their way back into this game. Full count now. And Mercado delivers and gets Jordan to swing and miss and out number 1. Dylan Hupfer stepping in, singled his last time up and takes first pitch down low for ball 1. Mercado that one to pop up. Called for by Andrew Ramirez, and that will be out number 2 for the Fort Collins Foxes.
Matthew Gall.
So now Matthew Goff. Goff steps in, hitting a single his last time up. Cotto delivers inside for ball number 1. Cotto catches the inside edge with that one, evens the count at 1 apiece. Three and 1 now to Matthew Goff. Christian Mikado, 5 appearances so far this season, 6 innings of work. Gets a big swing and miss, and it'll be a full count now to Matthew Goff. So Christian Mikado in 5 appearances, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 8 runs, 12 walked, 8 struck out with a 10.5 ERA. And that one's delivered on the outside edge to catch Goff looking, and down go the Foxes. And we're now headed to the top of the 6th. You have been listening to A's Baseball. Sandoval, Davis, and O'Sullivan due up when we return. Welcome back into City Park Field in Fort Collins, Colorado. The A's trailing the Foxes 2-5 in this ball game. And Matt Oberlander back out for his 6th inning of work and has been making short work out of the Dodge City A's. And Matthew Sandoval leading off. Walked on his last time up and looks at pitch number 1 outside. Sandoval will take that one and fouls it straight back into the fence, evens the count at 1 apiece. Right now the A's need base runners. Sandoval steps back in, Oberlander delivers, that one's outside. Now 2-1. So Coach Woodruff having a quick motivational speech with his team in between innings. Sandoval takes that one, hits it high, headed out to left field, but it is a shortstop calling for it and hauls it in, and out number 1 for the A's.
First baseman, number 24, Ryan Davis.
So that brings up Ryan Davis. Davis 0 for 2 in this game, grounded out his last time up. Looks at first pitch, 4 strike on the outside part of the plate for 0-1. Verlander delivers that one outside, evens the count at 1 apiece. That one's up high at the letters. 2-1 to Ryan Davis. A's looking for ways to get back into this game. Davis takes that one, pops it, sends it out to left field. That one hit too high, and Dylan Hupfer able to haul it in, and out number 2 for the A's.
Third baseman, number 9, Brendan O'Sullivan.
So that will bring up Brendan O'Sullivan. 1 for 2 in this game, struck out looking his last time up. Sullivan takes first pitch, he sees, drives it down the third base line, but goes foul. Strike number 1. So the A's playing their second game against the Foxes here this evening. Will play their second game against the Game Day Angels tomorrow night. That pitch down low evens the count at 1 apiece. Tomorrow night's game against the Angels will be back at 7 p.m. That is 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Central. First pitch, A's versus Angels. O'Sullivan will send that one out to left center field. A tall there to haul it in, and out number 3 for the A's. So we are headed to the bottom of the 6th. You've been listening to A's Baseball. Christian Mikado back out for his second inning of work. A's trailing this one 2-5 in the bottom of the 6th. I'm Justin Herbert. Christian Mikado back out. He last pitched against the Kansas Cannons in non-league action. Game back on Tuesday, June the 14th. His last outing went 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, walked 2 and struck out 3 in that outing. He faces Landon Irvin. Irvin struck out his last time up, and evens a count, 1 apiece. So Irvin will take that pitch, sends it out to right field. And we've got a guy there in Kyle Morrell to haul that in, and out number 1 for the Foxes.
Shortstop, number 3, Henry Fleckner.
So back at the top of the order for the Foxes. Henry Fleckner at bat. Grounded out his last time up. He will take the first pitch he sees for a strike. Contact made. That one's headed out to right field, and Kyle Morrell
Coming to the plate, second baseman, number 6, Tom.
hauls it in, and out number 2 for the Foxes. So that brings in Tyler Motter-Lloyd. Motter-Lloyd 1 for 2 in this game, singled his last time up. Takes first pitch he sees for a strike, and A's are trying to get a shutdown inning. That one's fouled straight back for strike number 2. Ball rolling down low, now 1-2, the count to Tyler Motter-Lloyd. That one's hit high and deep. Kyle Morrell there. All 3 outs made by Mr. Morrell, and we're headed to the top of the 7th. When we return, it will be Jacob Klanowski, Angelo Zazzarino, and Alex Cummins due up in the top of the 7th. You have been listening to A's Baseball. Welcome back into City Park Field. I am Justin Hergert, joined in by William Roberts. Welcome in.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So, for those of you joining in today and missed out on yesterday's game, William was the starting pitcher and won a complete game yesterday. One of 2 pitchers so far to do that this year for the Dodge City A's. So it is Matt Oberlander back out on the mound for his 7th inning of work, and Jacob Klanowski leads off with a big swing and miss for strike number 1. So William, you had just about 108 pitches was all you threw yesterday in a complete game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it happened, but I'm grateful that it did happen.
It was a beautiful outing, and now strike number 2 to Jacob Klanowski. one of the things that, from my window back here, really had the curveball working for you.
Yeah, that was definitely my best pitch yesterday by far. And then, I mean, I could throw my fastball inside and outside, which was a perfect compliment off the curveball, because when they did swing at the curveball, I didn't make very hard contact of it and usually just ground it out off of it.
Yeah, you were able to mix things up, and like I said, just an awesome performance that set the A's up for what became the 9-1 victory yesterday. And it was a game where both teams scored in the first, and it was a 1-1 game going to the fifth, and that's when the A's finally broke that one open. It sounds like that foul ball might have struck somebody's car behind us. So 0-2 to Jacob Klinowski, and that one delivered up high. Now 1-2. Don't be confused, that was the fifth pitch of the at-bat.
That's what we need. We need to pull together long pitch at-bats here to really wear down this pitcher to get into their bullpen.
That one's driven right back up the middle, and that'll be a leadoff hit for Jacob Klinowski.
Left fielder number 27, Angelo.
And for the first time in this game, the A's have their leadoff hitter on.
It's a good start. Let's see if we can capitalize here.
So that brings up Angelo Zazzarino. Zazzarino 0 for 2, flew out both times up, and that's a fair ball. Fielded by third base, throw over to first in time for the out, but advances Klinowski over to second.
Catcher number 18, Alex Cummings.
That's not necessarily a bad out. We at least move the runner over to second base.
That's what the A's need right now, is to get runners into scoring position and also try to wear out Matt Oberlander. Oberlander 82 pitches in this game, and Cummings lays down a bunt. No play on it. Now runners at the corners for the A's, and the A's might have something cooking.
That was a perfect bunt.
So catcher Alex Cummings laying down a bunt, and it was Rudy Duran that did that yesterday. I believe that, and that actually happened in that breakthrough fifth inning for the A's.
Yeah. Bunts really get you going.
And we're going to have a mound visit. So now runners at the corners for the A's, and A's trying to cut into this lead, trailing in this game 5-2. We're on the top of the seventh. One out for the Dodge City A's. The A's have sent Rhett Pospischel out to be the courtesy runner for Alex Cummings.
Second baseman number 2, Andrew Ramirez.
So that brings in Andrew Ramirez. Ramirez 0 for 1 in this game, but has been instrumental at second base. He takes first pitch easy, sends it on the ground in the gap, and that will score one. Runners at first and second now for the A's. And A's now trailing 5-3.
Shortstop number 23, Brock Denbo.
So now runners at first and second for the A's, and Brock Denbo at bat. Denbo 0 for 2. Hit into a fielder's choice his last time up. A's trying to continue to cut into this. That one's inside, but catches his own for strike number 1. Denbo, another A that has been solid on the defensive side of the ball. Anything that's been hit to the shortstop area has been guarded up and turned into outs by Brock Denbo. And now down in the count, 0-2. The A's trying to get to Matt Oberlander. There is work down in the Foxes bullpen, so they know that Oberlander's time is short. That one's outside. Brings the count to 1-2. A's trying to claw their way back into this one. Try to continue their winning streak, and Denbo will swing and miss and go down on strikes. So 2 out for the A's, and that brings up Kyle Morrell to the plate. Morrell 0 for 3 on the evening. Grounded out his last time up. Morrell takes first pitch. He sees he'll foul it off. Good Sunday evening crowd on hand here for the Foxes. Swing and miss by Kyle Morrell, and down in the count now 0-2. That one's sent, fouled straight back, so we'll repeat the 0-2 over again. The A's continuing to look for ways to score. Oberlander delivers. That one outside, even now 1-2. The count to Kyle Morrell. Some of the home crowd fans not happy with that, but
It's definitely outside.
from our vantage point, it was a ball. I can confirm that. That one inside.
Very inside.
Evens the count at 2 apiece. And the bleacher umpire is not happy. That one's driven well out into right center field. It's going, and it bounces off the fence. Morrell in at second with a stand-up double, and that scores 2 more. So the A's tie this one up now. It is a tie ball game after that RBI double.
That's all it takes, 1 2-out hit.
So that will end Matt Oberlander's night, and it is a tie ball game, 5-5. So new life for the Dodge City A's, and that will bring in David Kirby for the Foxes. So Matt Oberlander's night is done, and we're going to take a time. So the Foxes make the call to the bullpen, and it is the right-hander David Kirby now on the mound. He will face Matthew Sandoval with 2 outs. Runner on second. First pitch is down low for ball number 1. So Matt Oberlander's night is done. But we cannot close the book as Kyle Morrell out at second will be charged to Oberlander should he come in and score. So 1-1 the count now to Matthew Sandoval. Sandoval flew out his last time up. The Foxes showing an attempt to pick off, and that one's delivered well inside. A ball, throw down to third, but not in time. So a passed ball will allow Kyle Morrell down to third. So 2-1 the count. Matthew Sandoval. He had 5 out and off down the first base line and evens the count at 2 apiece. That one's low. Full count now to Matthew Sandoval. Kyle Morrell down at third for the Dodge City A's. 2 out here in the top of the 7th. The A's have scored 3 to tie this game at 5 apiece. Kirby delivers and strikeout looking will end the inning for the A's. We're headed to stretch time.
For the 7th inning stretch.
Here in Fort Collins, you have been listening to A's Baseball.
To the ball unit.
Back in at City Park Field in Fort Collins, tie game 5-5, and Christian Mikado back out on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. He will face leadoff hitter Tyler Attell. Struck out looking his last time up. And the A's in desperate need of a shutdown inning right here. First pitch delivered inside for ball number 1. That one's down low. Now ball number 2. Cotto sends that one in. It is hit high and deep. It's going to left center field. It'll be played off the wall, and a stand-up double for Tyler Attell.
Third baseman, number 23, Henry Jameson.
So that will bring in Henry Jameson. Jameson flew out. His last time up is 1 for 2 in this game. Cotto delivers outside, ball number 1. Bottom of the 7th. Runner on second, nobody out. Swing and a miss, evens the count at 1 apiece. Jameson, one of 4 Foxes in this game that has not scored a run yet. That one's outside now. 2-1. Two pitch from Mercado coming. Cotto delivers. That one's hit. Out to right center for out number 1. And of course, it was Kyle Morrell there to haul it in. So Morrell has now counted for the last 4 outs of the Fort Collins Foxes. So 1 away, bottom of the 7th. And it is now Connor Jeffers, 0 for 2, grounded out his last time up. That is hit at the third baseman, Brennan O'Sullivan. Gets away and out into left field, so that'll be a single.
Right fielder number 27, Brendan Jordan.
For Connor Jeffers. Jeffers will end up on second, moving on the throw, I believe. And we will now have a mound visit from Coach Woodruff. So runners second and third for the Foxes. Tie ball game at 5-5 and 1 away. You're just joining in. The A's scored 2 in the first, and then now 3 in the 7th. The Foxes 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third. That ball is hit foul and out of play behind us. For strike number 1 to Brendan Jordan. Jordan struck out his last time up. Lights coming on at City Park Field. Mikado delivers down low to even the count at 1 apiece. That one's hit up. That will be hit over to that was hit to right field, and Kyle Morrell is showing off that cannon, fires in. The throw is a little offline, but what a throw by Kyle Morrell to try to get it in, and the Foxes now lead this one 6-5. So that will bring up Dylan Hupfer. One and 0 to Hupfer. 2 away for the Fort Collins Foxes. Now 2-0. A's trailing 6-5. Bottom of the 7th. That one thrown in. Catches a lower inner part of the plate for strike number 1. Three and 1 to Dylan Hupfer. Hupfer 1 for 2 in this game. Fly out his last time up. That one's down, and it will be a walk, so that will put runners on the corners now.
Pitch hitting for the Foxes, number 15, Jackson Alon.
The Foxes will substitute Jackson Lund in now. Lund hitting in the DH spot for Matthew Goff. Goff was 1 for 3. One and 0 to count to Jackson Lund. Runners at first and third for the Foxes. Cotto delivers. That one's hit to Andrew Ramirez at second. Throw over to Brock Dimbo covering second, and that will end the inning for the Foxes. We are headed to the top of the 8th. Ryan Davis, Brendan O'Sullivan, and Jacob Klimowski due up for the A's when we return. You've been listening to A's Baseball. Welcome back into City Park Field. A's trailing 6-5 as we're headed to the top of the 8th, and Ryan Davis 0 for 3 on the evening. Flew out his last time up. Davis in a bit of a slump after being one of the hottest bats on this team. So coming into tonight's game, Davis hitting .375 on the season, so tells you how hot his bat was.
He's due for a hit right here.
Takes first pitch he sees for strike number 1. He'll hit that one foul and down in the count 0-2. The A's currently being led in batting average by Angelo Zazzarino at .667. Davis will step back in. He'll look at that pitch. Now called strike. It was a slow call on the inside part. So I will put emphasis on called strike.
Your baseman, number 9, Brendan O'Sullivan.
And that will bring up Brendan O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan 1 for 3 on the evening, flew out his last time up. Takes first pitch low for ball number 1. That one also down low, now 2-0. So after tonight's game, the A's will be halfway through this road trip to Colorado tomorrow night, back at the Game Day Angels. That one is 7 p.m. Mountain Time start. 3-0 the count to Brendan O'Sullivan. Tuesday afternoon, the A's will travel to Colorado Springs. So Sullivan will draw the walk. And that will be 1 on with 1 away. Bring up Jacob Klanowski. Klanowski 2 for 3 on the evening. Singled his last time up. So the A's will be in Colorado Springs Tuesday afternoon. That game at 4:30 Mountain Time start. And will complete the road trip on Wednesday to face the Colorado Rough Riders. That game also at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time start. And then the A's will return home to Dodge City that evening. That pitch thrown in catches the outer part of the zone for strike number 1 to Jacob Klanowski. So the A's will be back home after Wednesday evening, get 2 days off, and then we'll travel to Hayes America on Saturday to face the Hayes Larks. So Klanowski will step back in. He'll send that one in the ground, in the gap, out into right field, and runners at first and second for the A's.
Left fielder, number 27, Angelo Zazzarino.
So that brings up Angelo Zazzarino. Zazzarino 0 for 3, grounded out his last time up. 1 out for the A's here in the top of the 8th, and the A's down to their last 5 5 outs now to try to take the lead and win this game. Ball one delivered up high. Guys, we're going to take a big swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Angelo with 4 hits on the season so far, 3 singles and 1 triple, has driven in 2, accounts for 1 run of his own, walked on once and struck out once. That was coming into tonight's game. Runners at first and second for the A's. Throw in, and that one's hit on the ground. Taken by the second baseman. Throw over to second in time, and
Left field number 18, Alex Cummings.
so runners on the corners now. Runners on the corners, Alex Cummings at bat. Cummings 1 for 3 on the evening. Laid down a bunt his last time up. Cummings comes into tonight's contest hitting .258 on the season. 8 hits, 2 doubles and 1 triple. Driven in 8, scored 5 runs of his own, hit by pitch once. Walked on 6 times and struck out 10. Throw over to first, not in time, and the A's with 2 outs. That one in low, evens the count at 1 apiece. That one delivered outside for ball number 2. And the bleacher umpires giving their input. That one down low. Now 3-1 to Alex Cummings. Runners on the corners for the A's with 2 away. Top of the 8th inning. Runner goes, and so it will be a walk no matter what. And that will put bases loaded for Andrew Ramirez. So Ramirez coming in a big spot. And Coach Weinberg for the Foxes wasted no time going to the bullpen. So David Kirby's night is done. We'll tell you about the new pitcher coming up when we return. You've been listening to A's Baseball. Andrew Ramirez steps in, takes first pitch he sees, sends it out into left field. One run has scored. Throw into third, not in time, and Andrew Ramirez in with a stand-up RBI double. And the A's lead this one 7-6. Andrew Ramirez stepped in a big spot with bases loaded, and that's just what the A's needed, as Jackson Lunn now on the mound for the Fort Collins Foxes. So runners at second and third for the A's, and Brock Dendo in for the A's. He will be hit by pitch first time, and that will load the bases again. So now it is Kyle Morrell stepping in as the A's back at the top of the order, and now starting their fifth trip around the batting order.
Right fielder number 22, Kyle Morrell.
The A's, after leading in the first and then trailing after the third, have now taken the lead again. And the first pitch Kyle Morrell sees is outside for ball number one, and you can't help but feel that right now that all momentum has shifted in the A's' favor. After being so much in favor of the Fort Collins Foxes for most of this game, the A's looking to get back into this one. We're in the top of the eighth. A's leading 7-6. Runners on, or bases loaded. A big swing by Kyle Morrell, and that brings the count to 2-1. That one up high, now 3-1 to Kyle Morrell. The A's trying to add insurance runs here. High chopper. Hit out too short, fielded, and it will be a fielder's choice out at second. That will end the inning for the A's, but the A's now leading 7-6. We're headed to the bottom of the eighth. You've been listening to A's Baseball. Bottom of the eighth. A's leading 7-6 back at City Park Field in Fort Collins. I am Justin Herbert, joined alongside by William Roberts. And it is now R.J. Watanabe on the mound for the A's. R.J. making his 6th appearance for the Dodge City A's. He last pitched on Friday, June the 17th, went 2 innings against the Game Day Angels. He got the win in that game. Walked 2 and struck out 2 in his outing, and with 1 hit. So RJ overall an 8.217 ERA.
Bunt attempt for foul ball.
A 1 count to Landon Irvin. Irvin takes that one. He'll send it down the right base line, and Kyle Morrell ranging over. He'll field it in foul territory for out number 1. I'm going to have to go back in the stats after tonight's game, but Kyle Morrell has accounted for a massive amount of outs
Oh, yeah.
in this game. Morrell showing off his athleticism out in right field for the Dodge City A's tonight. So Henry Fleckner up for the Fort Collins Foxes, takes strike number 1. Fleckner is 1 for 3 on the evening, flew out his last time up. He'll send that one on the ground foul for strike number 2. One away for the Foxes here in the bottom of the 8th, and the A's will try to add some insurance runs in the top of the 9th and close this game out. That one's hit on the ground, fielded by Andrew Ramirez at second, throw to first in time, and out number 2 for Fort Collins.
Second baseman number 6, Tyler Monoloy.
Andrew Ramirez coming into his own and showing off what he can do as second base. So that brings up Tyler Mottolloyd, 1 for 3 on the evening. Flew out in his last time up. That one delivered up high for ball number 1. Foxes. Lloyd fouls that one off, evens a count at 1 apiece. The Foxes now down to their last 4 outs to win this game. That one's delivered low, 2-1 to Lloyd. Watanabe wants a fresh ball. So 2-1 to Lloyd. If this result stands, Lloyd will send that one foul down the first base line and fielded, or actually caught, I should say, by Rhett Pospish down in the bullpen. 2-2. That one inside, full count to Lloyd. Pitch low will walk Lloyd.
Now batting number 38, Tyler Uttal.
So Lloyd on for the second time tonight via the base on balls, and that brings up Tyler Uttal. Uttal 1 for 2 in this game, doubled his last time up. I was saying earlier, if this result stands, then Christian Mikado would be in line for the win for the A's. Jackson Land in line for the loss for the Fort Collins Foxes. We still have a whole inning of baseball to play, though.
A lot can happen in one inning.
1-0 the count to Tyler Attall. Ethan Batista running up in the bullpen. Throw down to first is not in time, and one and one the count to Tyler Attall. Only 3 batters in the order. That one's lined right back at Andrew Ramirez, and I'm not sure if that was a line out or a ground out.
A line out.
That's what I thought. Throw over to first anyway, and that will end the inning for the Angels. It will be Matthew Sandoval, Ryan Davis, and Brendan O'Sullivan due up for the A's in the top of the ninth. When we return, you have been listening to A's Baseball. Top of the ninth, and Matthew Sandoval leading off for the Dodge City A's. A's down to their last 3 outs to add some insurance runs to this game, leading 7-6 in a back and forth affair. But at one time, that the A's may not even get into it. First pitch outside for ball number 1. Jackson Lyon back out on the mound for now his second inning of work, and strike 1 to Matthew Sandoval. Sandoval struck out looking his last time up. That one hit just over the head of the second baseman and out into right field. A leadoff single for Matthew Sandoval. And the A's with their leadoff runner on, and that will bring up Ryan Davis. Davis 0 for 4 on the evening. Struck out looking his last time up. That pitch inside, but out of the zone for ball number 1. Davis will foul that one off, evens the count at 1 apiece. So the starting pitcher for the Fort Collins Foxes goes 7 innings, and he will take the no decision for this game. Throw over to first was not in time, and we'll go back to Ryan Davis at bat, 1-1. Throw over to first again, as evidently the Foxes are concerned with the little bit of speed that we have with Matthew Sandoval at first.
He's got to slide, otherwise he can be called out this next time.
That one in, hit down the line, twisting foul. And out of play, so strike number 2 to Ryan Davis. That one delivered high and outside, evens the count at 2. No outs here in the top of the 9th. A's leading 7-6 with runner on first. Ryan Davis 0 for 4. Been struggling these last 2 games, but due for a big one right now. Swing and a miss. So he will go down on strikes, but Sandoval will still over to second. So the Fort Collins Foxes trying to go for the strike him out, throw him out, get the strikeout, but that's it. So Matthew Sandoval now at second brings up Brendan O'Sullivan with 1 away. O'Sullivan 1 for 3 on the evening, walked on his last time up. And the A's down to their last 2 outs to add insurance to this game. Hard hit ball out to second. Throw over to first in time. Out number 2 and advances Matthew Sandoval over to third. So that will bring up Jacob Klinowski. Klinowski 3 for 4 on the evening. Double and 2 singles in this game. And they're choosing to walk Klinowski. So the intentional walk to Jacob Klinowski to get to Angelo Zazzarino. So runners on the corners now for the A's. Two away here on the top of the 9th. Zazzarino 0 for 4 on the evening, so you can see why they statistically would want to try to get to Zazzarino. Hit into a fielder's choice his last time up. Zazzarino take that one. It is hit fair right down the third base line. That will score Sandoval. And Klinowski into third safely, so a stand-up double RBI for Angelo Zazzarino, sorry. And the A's now leading 8-6.
Your attention, if anyone is missing a baseball glove, please come to the press box. Thank you.
So a big-time clutch hit for Angelo Zazzarino, and that brings up the catcher, Alex Cummings. So runners at second and third for the Dodge City A's to Ray. One and zero the count to Alex Cummings, and the scoreboard has went dark
I wouldn't
here
want
at City Park Field.
I wouldn't want to show the score either after this game.
Cummings fouls that one off, evens the count at one apiece. A's leading 8-6. Don't worry, fans, our scoreboard is still working,
Thankfully.
as far as I know. So 2-1 the count to Alex Cummings here in the top of the ninth. Runners on second and third for the A's. A's leading 8-6. Jackson one set, delivers. That one's popped up.
Trouble.
First baseman calling for it. He will field in foul territory. That will end the inning for the A's, but A's have extended their lead, and we are headed to the bottom of the ninth. The Foxes down to their last 3 outs to tie or win this game, and we'll be back. You've been listening to A's Baseball. Bottom of the ninth. A's trying to close this one out, and they have gone to Ethan Bautista on the mound. So Bautista in to try to close this one out for the Dodge City A's. 1-1 the count to Henry Jamison leading off for the Fort Collins Foxes. Jamison 1 for 3 in this game, flew out the last time up. That one's hit on the ground, out, right back up the middle, and a leadoff hit for the Foxes.
Point number 5, Connor Jeffers.
So that will bring up Connor Jeffers. Jeffers 1 for 3 on the evening, singled his last time up. The A's trying to close this one out and won their 8th game of the season and 8th in a row. That one hit out to short, throw over to second, throw to first, in time, and that will be the double play, so 2 away for the Foxes.
Pinch hitting for the Foxes, number 24, Drew Norson.
So the 6-4-3 double play, and now 2 away.
It was a perfectly executed first pitch curveball. Low one inside. For him to ground out to shortstop. Taylor made double play.
That will bring up a pinch hitter for the Foxes and Drew Norson. Norson played in last night's game, also pitched. Stepping in with 2 outs and the A's leading 8-6. That one, wild pitch. Comes back and now adjustments need to be made to cameras. Two and one to Drew Norson. Foxes down to their final out to tie or take the win in this game. Two and one to count to Norson. And another curveball inside for a strike, beautifully delivered by Ethan Batista. Evens a count at 2 apiece. That one's fouled off and just out of play. So we'll do the 2-2 over again. Bat boy for the Foxes, bringing out more baseballs to the home plate umpire. Drew Norson will step back in. 2-2, 2 away, bottom of the 9th. That one comes in and hooks Norson right on the elbow. And we'll bring up Dylan Hupfer.
Now batting, number 28, Caesar Galvan.
So pinch hitting for the Foxes will be Caesar Galvan. Batista delivers, swung on a miss, strike number 1. One on, 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th. A's leading 8-6. So the tying runner at home plate right now. That one hit foul for strike number 2. So this tonight swung on and missed, and that is the ball game. A's take this one a final of 8-6. So this will complete the Colorado part of the series with the Foxes. The Foxes will travel to Dodge City to complete the series. Those 2 games to be played in July at Cavalier Field. So A's take this one 8-6. Christian Mikado. I believe will take the win. Jackson Lund will take the loss. I may be wrong, but either way, the final game numbers: A's 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. They strained 8. The Foxes 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They strained 10. So the A's now on an 8-game winning streak and will go play the Game Day Angels tomorrow night. That game, a 7 p.m. Mountain Time start. Tune in right here on YouTube. I've been Justin Herbert alongside William Roberts saying so long and good night from Fort Collins. You've been listening to A's Baseball.